A lot of fans will admit that they've not been best pleased with the club's transfer business so far this summer. However, we have some huge transfer news that could change that. We will go over this in today's video whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic face Kairat Almaty in the Champions League playoff second leg on Tuesday night, with Brendan Rodgers' side needing a victory after a 0-0 draw at Celtic Park. The Hoops must deliver in the sweltering Almaty heat if they are to keep their Champions League dream alive. It's a must-win in Central Asia, and Brendan Rodgers is expected to go with his strongest available 11. There was a welcome sight as Adam Ida travelled with the squad, and the Irish striker could feature from the start after Celtic failed to convert chances in the first leg. However, Austin Trusty hasn't made the trip due to a heel issue, and Alistair Johnston is now facing 3 months on the sidelines with a hamstring injury. Rodgers has made it clear the long-distance journey won't be used as a get-out clause. There's no excuse for us, especially when you see how well Kairat worked last week. They had the same journey going the other way. We'll prepare, and there'll be no excuse. Kairat will be missing 4 key players for Tuesday's clash. First-choice goalkeeper Alexander Zarutsky is unavailable due to injury, with backup Tamerlan Anabekov expected to start. Rising star Dastan Satpayev, who will join Chelsea next summer, is suspended after accumulating too many yellow cards. Luis Mata and Jorgi Zaria are also sidelined through injury. Kairat have been dealt another blow just hours before kick-off. Winger Edmilson Tilio has been ruled out through injury. Kairat were organised and disciplined at Celtic Park, but they'll now need to adapt without several regular starters. Now for the main story, as Celtic are reportedly preparing a move for Lorient striker Sambu Sumano as Brendan Rodgers looks to bolster his forward line ahead of the transfer deadline next Monday. The 24-year-old Senegalese frontman is coming off a strong campaign, having scored 14 goals in just 11 starts last season to fire Lorient back into League One. He's continued that form into the new season, netting in a commanding 4-0 win over Rennes at the weekend, and is now reportedly on the radar for a senior Senegal call-up. With Celtic closing in on winger Michel-Ange Balikwisha and left-back Marcelo Saracchi, attention is now shifting toward finding another striker to round out the squad. Sumano is viewed as a dynamic forward with pace, sharp movement and a natural eye for goal, exactly the profile Rodgers has been searching for. An official approach could be made in the coming days, with talks expected to accelerate depending on Celtic's European fate this week. The need for a fresh option up top has become increasingly clear. Adam Ida has struggled to impose himself since returning to the club. Johnny Kenny's future remains uncertain amid interest from Bolton, and Shin Yamada has yet to convince the manager. Callum Osmond isn't ready for the first team yet. Rodgers is keen to ensure his squad has the depth and quality required to compete both domestically and in Europe, and Sumano could offer a much-needed cutting edge to a forward line still finding its rhythm. With just a week left in the window, Celtic appear to be moving quickly, and Sumano is now one to watch. In other news, Brendan Rodgers has made it clear that there will be no excuses from his Celtic side as they prepare for Tuesday night's Champions League qualifier second leg against Kairat Almaty. The squad arrived in Kazakhstan on Monday evening after a long-haul journey that included a refuelling stop in Turkey. While the travel demands have been gruelling, Rodgers was firm in his stance that the trip will not be used as a reason if Celtic fail to progress. There's no excuse for us, especially when you see how well Kairat worked last week, Rodgers said to Celtic TV. So they had the same journey going the other way, so that won't be an excuse for us. We all feel fine, we feel great, we're on our own time zone, and like I say, we'll prepare and there'll be no excuse. The tie is finally poised after a frustrating 0-0 draw at Celtic Park, with both teams knowing a single goal could define their European season. The margins couldn't be slimmer for the boys. Celtic are aiming to become the first Scottish club to win in Kazakhstan and secure their place in the group stages, with a lucrative £40 million prize and momentum for the campaign at stake. A win and progression to the UEFA Champions League could also open the door to more signings for the Hoops. Reports on Tuesday have suggested that Celtic are not out of the race for Calvin Stengs just yet. They may decide to pursue things further with the Feyenoord player, but are waiting on the outcome of tomorrow's match first. In other news, Celtic have finally confirmed the departure of winger Marco Tilio, who has completed a permanent move to Rapid Vienna. The deal, which had initially been structured as a loan, was revised by the Austrian side into a full transfer, clearing the way for the move to be completed. Tilio leaves Glasgow having played just 28 minutes of first-team football since arriving from Melbourne City 2 summers ago. The transfer fee is believed to be in the region of £1.3 million. Tilio's time at Celtic was hampered by injuries and limited opportunities, with Brendan Rodgers opting not to include him in any of the early squads this season. Despite being highly rated upon arrival, the Australian international never managed to establish himself in the senior setup. Lastly, Celtic's move for left-back Marcelo Saracchi is edging closer, with discussions between the clubs centring around a loan deal that includes an option to buy for around £2 million. The Uruguayan defender, who has previously played for RB Leipzig, Galatasaray and Levante, emerged as a serious target over the weekend. Reports from Argentina suggest a deal could be finalised in the coming hours, with Saracchi already identified as the backup to Kieran Tierney. It's understood the proposed agreement would see Saracchi arrive on an initial loan, giving Celtic the flexibility to assess his impact before committing to a permanent transfer. The option to buy is believed to be in the region of £2 million, an affordable figure for a player with European experience and still only 27. Celtic are close to agreeing a deal for Boca Juniors left-back Marcelo Saracchi. It's understood the clubs are discussing a loan, with an option to buy in the region of £2 million. The Uruguay international has 2 years left on his Boca contract. Celtic have been looking to strengthen their left-back options after the departure of Greg Taylor and the need for depth behind Tierney. Hayato Inamura started in the weekend win over Livingston, but Brendan Rodgers has been clear in his desire for more experienced cover. Saracchi has already played at Celtic Park before, during his time with RB Leipzig, and his blend of tenacity, pace and attacking threat from deep could make him a useful addition as Celtic prepares for a demanding campaign on multiple fronts. What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.